Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Crys'Dawna. I am a furniture artist. If you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell so you get all the latest videos. I put out a video each week. I am going to be redoing this bar, I think it's like a bar liquor cabinet is really what it is. But at this point in time, I'm going to make it into probably a statement piece. I am in my garage. I'll be doing a little bit of video in my garage. I was going to take a shower and look all cute and nice for you guys, but I decided no. I just got done working out and that's part of it, okay? So that's part of my channel is you guys getting to know me, getting to know who I am, and not just doing furniture. I'm trying to encourage you guys and inspire you, and I do my 10-minute Tuesdays where we talk about different things, not always furniture related. So one of the big things in my life is fitness because I'm a living kidney donor. I have one kidney. I have to stay healthy. I have to keep a healthy heart in order to have healthy kidneys. I am a distance runner. I lift weights. I have a history of fitness. I did let myself go for a few years. There was just a lot going on, so I'm trying to get back to it. And so this is real life, guys. Sometimes I don't always look prim and proper, and that's okay. And if you care what I look like, then you're here for the wrong reason. So anyways, I just went off on a rant, but we are going to be going through this thing. Let me open it. Also, we're in my garage. So if you hear some cars and some birds and whatever, that is what is happening here. Okay, so this opens up. There's a shelf. A lot of liquor cabinets have mirrors in them. Please tell me why. I have no idea why a lot of liquor cabinets have mirrors in them. Maybe so that it looks like you have more liquor than you do when you see the reflection. I'm not really sure. Do you guys know? Someone please tell me. So anyways, this was an old liquor cabinet. We're gonna remake it. We're gonna do some, oops, hold on. This is a different lock. So it pops down, you gotta put it in there, and then it locks. We're gonna be keeping the lock, all this stuff, but I have gotten inspiration on this piece from, actually I've gotten inspiration on this piece from, a wedding cake. That's crazy, right? Let me know where you guys get inspiration from. People ask me all the time, where do I get inspiration from? All over the place, not gonna lie. I Googled a black cake with flowers and that is what my inspiration is. Are you guys ready for it? Because that is what we're doing. All right, stay tuned if you guys wanna see this video. And yeah, we're gonna do this. The first thing I'm going to do is clean this piece with Dixie Belle's White Lightning. It's a TSP based cleaner. I put it in a bucket of warm water. After you're done going over the piece with your cleaner, then you're going to go over it with warm water and a clean rag so you can get all the residue off so you don't have adhesion issues. I also wanted to make sure that I didn't paint over these hinges, so I am taping them with my Stikk tape, and we're going to be using a lot of that today. I'm going to paint the entire piece except for the top in Caviar, which is a true black color. It does look a little bit blue when it's wet, but once it dries, it is true black. This is just a pro tip for you. I always put my pieces on their back so that I can get underneath them. And this allows me to get to the feet a little bit better so that way I don't miss any spots. A lot of times when you're loading the furniture into a car, I don't know why, when I see it unpainted, if I, after a while, if I've done something and I'm like, oh man, I missed that spot. So I always flip them on their back now. From this point, I've been doing it for years. So that way I can just hit every spot and it just looks a lot more professional. We are going to do black and white stripes on this piece, and I am using my favorite painter's tape. It's called Stikk, and it's Stikk. So I'm going to start at the very beginning, and I'm going to butt that up against that edge right there. Now I want you to be cognizant of when you are putting your tape on, you want to make sure that if you are starting your tape in the front on one side, make sure you put your tape on the front to begin with on the other side as well, so that your stripes are uniform. I use a paint scraper, plastic or metal or whatever, to kind of get up in that 90-degree angle so that there's no spaces on there. And then I'm going to pull apart about 3 pieces of tape. These are my guiding tapes, okay? So you could do 2 if you want, if it's a smaller area, 3 if it's a really big area, you could do 4, but the point of this tape is to butt it right up against that first piece of tape that you know is true and straight. And then you're going to put your second or your next piece of tape, because you do second, third, fourth, whatever. Your next piece of tape, you're going to put it next to those guiding tapes. So you're going to make it long enough. You're going to cut it. You're going to butt it up against that top one, push it down only in that area where the tape is. Okay. Now butt it up against the other one, line it up, only push it down where it's next to that tape. Same concept on the last part. Then you burnish the entire piece down. So you line everything up with all of those guiding tapes, and then you burnish it down. And again, I'm using the paint scraper to make sure I get it really good and tight in that 90-degree angle. Once I have all my tape in place, I'm going to burnish it one more time with a microfiber cloth. I am going to go in the direction that the paint or the tape is. I'm not going to go horizontal because you're going to pull the tape off. So make sure that whatever direction your tape is, that is where you're burnishing it. Now I'm going to take some satin clear coat. You can use whatever your favorite clear coat is. And I'm going to seal this tape so that I don't have any paint that goes underneath my tape. This method is super, super important to get nice crisp lines. Sometimes, every once in a while, you will have to fix little things with an artist brush, but for the most part, this will give you probably 95% perfect lines. So you're going to put clear coat over all of it, and then you're going to let it dry. Then I'm going to go over it with Fluff. So Fluff is a kind of a gray-white color. I'm going to do 2 coats of my Fluff on over top of the paint. Tape. It doesn't matter. You can paint all the way over the tape if you want. You can stay within those lines. It really doesn't matter at this point because everything is sealed in. So I'm going to do 2 coats. And again, when I paint, same concept. When I'm doing my stripes, I go vertically. I'm not going to go horizontally across all that tape. I'm going to just stick in one section, and I'm going to do it vertically. So there's a method, plus it keeps it looking nicer instead of going across. And if you ever did have a chance to have any kind of, paint bleed under that, it won't do it as much if you stick with the way that the tape is going, the way that you put the clear coat on. If you start messing with it and trying to go against the tape, then you could pull it up a little bit. So just work with the direction of the tape and the clear coat. I wait for my first coat to dry before I do my second coat. But once I do my second coat, I don't have to wait for it to dry. I will peel it off while that second coat is still wet. Look at how crisp those lines are. There is, you do a couple more steps as far as the burnishing and as far as putting the clear coat, but it is so worth it. I mean, come on. Look at how beautiful those stripes are. That's my little helper helping me. He is always in the background. That's why I said, as a mom, my kids are always back there somewhere while I'm working. So he's helping me pull the tape off. So it's so easy and satisfying, even a 4-year-old wants to do it. So I said that there are some times where you have to fix stuff with an artist brush, not a big deal. I just go in with I use makeup brushes actually, and I just go in, dip a little bit of paint in that brush, use a steady hand, and go over anywhere that I may have gotten paint that I didn't want it to be at. Do you remember that picture of the cake and how there were so many flowers on there? I have had these Would You Bend flowers for a while, okay? And you can get these flowers in the description below. I'm going to put a link and you can get them from the link. But I dry placed them first to kind of see how I wanted them. I thought I was going to cluster them all the way up the front, but I ended up doing a cluster on the bottom and then one over on the top and then one of the other ones they're all together over on the top left. The reason why I did 3 is because if you've ever noticed in staging or a lot of things, in odd numbers is more aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and so that's why I only did 3. So what I'm doing here is I'm heating up this Would You Bend molding. That's what you want to do with them. You want to heat them up first so that they are pliable. You're going to put wood glue on them after you've heated them up, and then you're going to put them on your surface. So I always put the glue on it and I spread it out with my fingers so that it goes all the way out to the edges. And then you're going to put it on the piece. You're going to heat it up one more time. So you can use a hair dryer or you can use a heat gun. I've done both. I'm using a hair dryer right here because I couldn't find my heat gun, to be honest with you. And so either one's fine. But I'm pushing it down and I'm pushing it in place. This is on its back. But if there are some with this, when I'm layering them, if there's any kind of curves, you can also tape them into place. If you're working on a vertical surface, then you can tape them into place. But once that wood glue dries, which is fairly fast, it'll be permanent. So once I'm done doing this and I'm done putting the wood glue on, putting the heat on it again, I'm going to push it down to the surface and it's going to be good. And then I'm going to wipe all the excess glue off. I'm going to repeat this process. I'm going to heat them up, put some glue, layer them where I want them, heat it up again, push it down. Some of them I end up taping, a lot of them I don't. So this is why you have to roll with the punches. My original plan was to keep the front black, do flowers up the top, make the flowers colorful, and I have pivoted now, like Ross in Friends. I painted all of the wood you bend flowers in Caviar, and I load my brush up with a little bit more paint when I am painting stuff like this, so that way it can get in all the cracks and crevices. So I ended up painting all of the wood you bend flowers. I ended up doing black and white stripes on that very front inside panel. I wasn't going to at first. I didn't want it to be too much, but I ended up liking it. I was going to make the flowers have color on it, but I'm really digging just the black and white. So after all is said and done, I did the stripes the same way I showed you, kept all the flowers black. I'm going to take Easy Peasy spray wax. I'm going to seal in the entire piece. You spray the Easy Peasy spray wax on there, and then I rub it in with a microfiber cloth. I wanted this piece to stay matte, and I also didn't want to deal with, because there's multiple colors, I didn't want to deal with doing the mix of a little bit of paint into your clear coat, but you can. I've got tons of videos on it. I think I've got like 2 or 3 videos on how to seal darker paints with clear coat, but everything started coming together. So I put the little key holder back on here, and it needed a little pop of color. So I am going to, once I put this on here, I'm going to take the gold Gilding Wax, and I'm just going to lightly go over the keyhole hardware and the hinges, and I feel like that is going to just pull everything together. So I know that you guys are used to me doing color, but man, this piece is just classy. Okay everybody, so this piece is done. This video is done. I had to show a lot of restraint in this. I wanted to add gold in places, and then I was like, no, less is more with this piece. So I just did a little bit of gold on the hardware and the hinges. I didn't go crazy on it. I just, I wanted it to be, I was gonna do colorful flowers, so I showed you guys my inspiration pictures of the cakes, and there was colorful flowers, and then I just kept stepping back. So when you guys are painting any kind of furniture and you're not quite sure what direction, do whatever you know you want to do, and then step back every so often just to kind of visualize what you're doing and where you want to go. And don't be afraid to take pictures and send them to your friends, your other artist friends, even someone who's not an artist that has a completely different view about stuff, and just kind of ask them what they think if you ever have a roadblock. So this is how you paint perfect stripes. It's black and white. It kind of looks like a tuxedo. I'm really digging it. I'm glad that I left these black. I know you guys are used to color, but hey, you need to know how to do black and white also, right? Well, not white. Nobody likes white. I mean, I don't like white. But anyways, okay, so stay on here for a video of this final piece, a nice staged picture. Oh, I know some of you guys are gonna ask. I left the top original. It was in really good shape. It's already sealed. I thought that the dark color actually went really well with this, so I didn't mess with the top of it. Very, very rarely do I get that, but when I do see something that's in pristine condition as far as the top, I just leave it if I know it's gonna go with the piece. So that's what I did with the top, or didn't do with the top, because I didn't do anything with the top. Stay on here so you guys can see the staged pictures, and then I have a couple little behind the scenes of what I do a day in the life of when I'm videoing and all that good stuff. Remember, everything I use is always in the description below, so you can go in the description and find all these little flowers and the paint and everything that I use. And don't forget to subscribe. Until next week, I will see you guys later. Happy creating and have an amazing weekend. Bye guys.
said that they don't got a future like it burns. So give him something worse to kill his head with, make him forget somehow. Might be that another day she would have wished he stayed, but they're done.